Vincent Caravella.
Alex Navarro.
Tell me you've had your plague shot.
Yes, I've gotten my shot at the plague once. It didn't work out well. I didn't make it to the big time.
Get your vaccinations, folks.
Oh, yes. Get your vaccinations.
It is bubonic out there.
Oh, nice.
This is the Black Plague. This is A Plague Tale: Innocence. It is a video game that costs $45 on Steam and is also on Xbox One and PS4. We are on PC here.
I like what they're doing with the G. I like it. I like the tail and the A.
Yeah.
There's something about just turning the top of the G into a rat, which is audacious and not that clever, but I like it. And it just put a rat on top of the G.
Yep.
I want the tail to be the A. Well, I can't make the tail the A. Where'd the rat go?
Just put a little rat on it.
Just put it on the G.
Put a little rat on it.
So, I'm into it. I like it. Plagoo Tail.
Well, it's funny because this is a game from Asobo Studio, which is a studio I didn't know a whole lot about, but as far as I can tell, they've made a lot. They've done a lot of work for hire stuff. They've made a bunch of Pixar licensed games over the years, including a Ratatouille game, which is an interesting aside there.
So this is the dark Ratatouille.
Kinda. So we'll get into the game here. I'm gonna pick a chapter. I'm 5 chapters in. I don't know exactly how long this game is, but it seems like it's got a little bit of length to it. This is kind of where things start really popping off, though.
The sound is just great. It's like rats just crawling all over me while I sleep.
Yeah, we'll do this.
Wow.
So what?
They were on somebody.
Yes, they were.
Oh.
So in this game, you are playing as a teenage girl who her family has been killed, not by the plague, but by the Inquisition, which is currently going after, trying to find the.
I did not get my Inquisition shots, sadly.
Trying to find whatever the source of this horrible plague that has befallen the land is, but they are doing so in a very.
Is it heresy?
I think it might be heresy. They think it is, at least.
Oh, there's some work went into this, huh?
Yes. So this is a pretty good-looking game, pretty polished-looking. It has some real art design touches to it that I like a lot. The game part of it is a little bit simple. Like, it is a stealth game, but it is not a very hard one, at least from what I have found. But I think
visually,
it kind of benefits from that because the story and the characters and the visuals, I think, are much more the focus of what they're doing here.
Huh. This is not what I was expecting when you described this to me.
Yeah, it is straight up a third-person action game, but there isn't a lot of action. It is a lot of hiding and a lot of sort of running from things.
How is the voice acting?
Pretty good, for the most part. A few little weird reads here and there, but for the most part, I found the character stuff to be pretty engrossing.
Is there a lot of kids?
Yeah, so you're playing as the girl here. Your brother is your only surviving family member. He's been sick for a long time. You don't really know what's going on with him, but you have to try and shepherd him along as you escape both the Inquisition and whatever the hell is going on in the world.
And you have also said there is some supernatural going on.
Yeah, so it's obviously the plague is going on, but the origins of the plague and the way that it is sort of the way that it is sort of represented in this game is not just very like, hey, check it out, it's just a disease going around. Like there may be some other shit going on behind the scenes.
Why have they done that?
So we've just come to this church in this town where people are burning plague victims and are kind of losing their minds. The church is all boarded up. No one really seems to know what's going on around here, so we've just arrived here.
A necklace.
It's a rosary.
What's it for?
Praying.
Can I use it to talk to Mommy and Daddy?
We'll do it together.
Sort of some real flat reads, I think intentionally.
These parts are pretty flat, but I think when the emotion is called for in the scenes, I feel like these actors are actually doing a pretty good job.
I never.
Amicia, you're really squeezing me.
Sorry.
So we're just kind of looking around for stuff. There is crafting in this game, and you'll find these workstations where you are crafting for your sling and some, like your item inventory and things like that. But that's really it. Like, there isn't a lot of combat in this game. A lot of it is using your sling to create distractions and things like that so that guards move away.
Okay.
You will occasionally have to fight people, but it's usually like you're trying to kill a guy before he notices you, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Hey, look! There's a broken window and a ladder.
Could be our way out. Come on, get up there.
How'd you get in
It
here?
doesn't break like the other one.
We just found a way
Trust
in the
me.
previous chapter.
Amicia,
So Hugo and Amicia?
Yes, Hugo and Amicia.
What are you doing here?
Father, we need help.
Leave! It's dangerous! You have no business being here!
Wait, please, it's important. We should go and talk to him.
So the reason we're here is we're looking for this doctor, or alchemist,
Hugo?
who the family has known for years. He's kind of no one seems to know where he is. So theoretically, the monks would have some idea.
Gotcha.
they've broken everything.
What's going on here?
Perhaps they're building bigger beds?
I don't think that's it.
Do you know where you're supposed to be?
What do you mean?
Is this like
This is France.
Okay, it is.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
12th
mention that?
century
Sorry.
France, I believe.
Okay.
I think the year is 1348. I could be wrong, but that's the one I feel like I remember at the beginning.
Wait, 13?
1348,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, there's some allusions to stuff going on with England and invading forces and whatnot, but like, you are French. Everyone I have met, I believe, is a French person.
We are French.
I know
Yes.
that smell.
Medicinal herbs. The monks must have put them in the water to purify themselves. Mother used to do the same.
So you find out, like, literally in the first chapter, your mother is a bit of an alchemist.
Okay.
She was working on trying to cure your brother of whatever was ailing him. Which you do find out about relatively early on, kind of what's going on with him.
Does he have wraps on his arm, or are those tattoos? It's kind of tough to see.
I believe those are wraps.
Okay.
Yes. I have not seen any children with tattoos in this game.
Okay. I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
part of the supernatural.
Flowers. They're so pretty.
He seems like he's in good spirits.
Yeah, I mean, he's as good a spirits as they can be. So there's a little bit of commanding him when you're kind of going through the game. Sometimes you're like telling him places to go or things to do. There are little areas where he can crawl in and like help open up a window or a
We have
door.
to keep moving.
But for the most part, you're just kind of leading him
What?
around.
It will protect
And
you.
that
And he's
could be one of
pretty
those
too.
things that's super annoying in a game.
Yeah.
All right.
Now
But
we
it's
can go.
not. I
Thank
found
you,
this to be
Hugo.
actually
You're
pretty
welcome.
him to be responsive, and they have not turned this into an endless escort mission that is like annoying or obnoxious.
Okay. He's not giving away your position constantly.
No, nothing like that.
What's up with your one piece of armor?
I'm not really
like
sure what's up with the outfit there. It's
Okay.
so one of the things. I think the only DLC they have for this game is you can kind of choose the color scheme for your character, which sort of amounts to the crest for your family. But I think you're wearing some version of this outfit, no matter
But you
what.
haven't like been collecting armor pieces, or it doesn't.
No, this is just kind of what she puts on when she gets into the thick of it.
Sick elbow drops.
Yeah, no, she would do a pretty mean one, I would think, with that. All right, let's go talk to this.
Or, it's like your mom or dad's old armor.
Father,
You again. I told you to
just
leave.
a moment. Just a...
You have no idea. Leave while you still can.
Please. Someone has
So I'll
to
say
help
up to this
us.
point in the game,
Do
you
it for
really
him
don't
at
know
least.
what's going on. You know
Okay.
that there's bad shit happening to people and that people are dying and there's like these weird rumbles in the ground, but that's kind of it.
The Robert de Rune, coat of arms.
We are his children. We are looking for Laurentius, the doctor. Do you know him?
Yes, I know him. And I know he used to look after your family. He spoke of you. I am Father Thomas. Your presence here is not a good sign.
The Inquisition. They
Sir-
came and they...
These are good-looking children models.
Yes.
Not a lot of
I can
games
imagine.
get that.
But what is happening here is far worse. You must leave immediately, or you will die.
Father, the villagers wanted to kill us.
Oh, they're mad. They're mad. Oh, Laurentius. No, I cannot leave the church, but an exit through the crypt
Do you know
of
if
the
there's an
three
option
saints.
to play this in
May
French?
not be too late.
I did not check the
I
language
shall
options.
try to put you on the path to Laurentius's farm, but after that, may God watch over you.
Oh, man, his back's not feeling well, huh?
I don't think anyone's doing too
All
well
seems
right now.
calm for the moment. Come.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about making kids in video games, but I feel like over half the time they look like shrunken adults.
Stay
Yes.
in the light.
So they give you a lot of these little skip prompts.
Why are
I think
there
if you like
crosses on
end
the
up in a
village
situation
doors?
where you're having to replay stuff, you can just kind of skip through things.
Okay.
Started
This is a
with
very
bites.
forgiving game.
During the night.
The checkpoints are pretty good. The
sickness
stealth
spread.
is not that hard, I've found.
Families,
It seems like they're very
everyone.
invested in you paying attention to the story and not necessarily like repeating the same sections
Started
over and
dying.
over again.
And when we finally found out where it came from, why, it was
What was that?
already too late.
What was that
And-
movie with the rats?
Where did it come from?
The one
We
where
nearly
the
got
Millard?
it.
Yeah.
The Crispin Glover movie.
Yeah.
This isn't quite that, but
Brother Morel should be here.
I did think of
The
that
other
when I
night.
saw this game.
I mean, it's got rats.
So you just said that him and his other brother are the only ones that are left in the monastery, kind of holding it down here.
Not holding much down. His brother somewhere in here?
Brother Morel,
Maybe.
stay here.
Oh, this guy's toast, huh?
You'll see.
Brother Morel.
Has Morel become a morsel?
What is the matter? Father?
The kid kind of gets these headaches whenever stuff is about to pop
Oh,
off.
he's got like the true sight. You're underground. There should not be wind.
No.
Oh boy.
This is the first time you straight up see the swarms.
No.
Oh yeah, he can't move very quickly, huh?
Father, no. Light.
I don't think that's how the plague works, but
It does in this situation.
I'm not a doctor. It's interesting tech.
The swarm tech.
Yeah. Here we are, Days Gone and plague. What's the name of this?
A plague tale.
Plague.
Oh, yep, there's our brother. He, well, that didn't go well for him.
Is that the father?
That was him.
Can you get the hammer?
Nah.
No, probably not.
No, we're kind of moving along this
Okay.
path here.
They really don't like the light, huh?
Yeah, so that becomes one of the primary mechanics, is that anytime you see these rat swarms, you essentially need to find light. As soon as you start walking in areas where they are, they will just swarm and kill you instantly.
We have to get back outside of me.
This is kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, it's not pleasant.
Oh man.
Oh, there's the other guy.
A monk. The other brother.
Well, you made it pretty far.
Yep.
We're going to have to climb
So
up.
again, this
I'll
is
have to put the torch
one of the
down.
things I like most is that they lean into the
Calm
horror
down.
imagery
There's a torch holder.
Yeah.
pretty
We'll have
heavily
light.
in like some actually like I mean it's gory, but it's also like a pretty interesting ways. It's not just, you know, a bunch of bodies lying around. Like you'll see a little bit more as we go along.
Understand where there is
Not that
some
you
fire.
should do this, but
We need
what
some
would
fire.
happen if you
The wood will burn quickly.
lost
We
it
have to
here?
hurry.
They would swarm and kill me.
Like, do they show that for the kids?
Yes.
Calm down.
Do they really? Oh no.
Oh, I mean they don't show your body like being torn
no,
apart.
but they show the
but-
rats like taking over you.
Oh yeah,
Oh, gross.
yeah. They're not shy about that.
So that's their
So
babe.
these sticks are just short torches. They
Gotcha.
only
Spoke of a
they
way
only
out
exist for a little
to the
while.
crypt.
But you found the light.
But I've
Uh-oh.
also found that almost always, as long as you start moving immediately after you light it, you're fine.
Amicia.
timing wise.
Statues.
Yep.
Crypt of the Three Saints. It's the exit the father spoke of.
Okay, so now I got to
have to
figure out
find
how to
another
get
way.
across here.
So there are pockets of light. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. And these are not mobile things.
I say you could not take a piece of wood here and then light it on fire.
No. But what I can do is I can
I'll
climb
give you
over
a hand.
this.
So it seemed like you could tell your brother to stay somewhere while you move forward.
Yes, you can tell him to do that, and there are situations where you will want to do that. There's sticks around here somewhere.
There's so much wood, Alex. It's driving me nuts. You can't grab any of these boards.
I know. There are only certain boards you can grab.
Up there, Amicia.
I should be able to knock it down.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay,
So I've got this,
right.
I'm a deal.
Oh, and your sling. Nice. You're pretty good with that sling.
Yep.
Try not to look. We can't do anything for them now.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
No. Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
That's not good.
All right.
Not
Go
happening.
through there.
Up the ladder, can you make it?
Yeah, I think we can.
So have you gotten into spots where you try to go up this ladder and you realize it's just dark up there and
So there are areas where the rats kind of don't go. Like some of the more above ground areas, they don't really swarm there.
they don't take ladders?
No, they haven't figured out ladder technology yet.
Oof, good thing.
Yeah, some more collectible things here and there.
And are you going to be able to build things like fire bombs and
Yes, you do, in fact, get the ability to launch fire things. Usually not just straight at the rats, but like you can launch them at like, haystacks and things like that.
gotcha?
We'll pass at the same
In the
time.
interest of maybe creating light.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. You've got to time your
I'll go first.
Got to time my movement, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because it'll just keep swinging.
The pizzicato, is that what that's called on the strings? The
Is that what that?
tick, 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 tick.
I know that term. I don't necessarily know what it means.
I might not either.
They're making too much noise. Too much noise.
No, I get it. It's an
Calm
unpleasant
down.
sound.
Man, you guys really You're going all the way up?
Yep. All right, so here's the crafting area.
Hold on, let me make something.
So these are the upgrades you have in front of you. Right now, the only thing I can make is this this heavy pocket, so I can add more stuff to my inventory.
Okay. Do you see those upgrades on your person?
I don't think they're really visually represented.
Okay.
All right, so we made it up here. There's the doorway.
No rats.
Yet.
Somebody's cooking up here. Oh.
I don't see any torches. How can we? What are we going to do?
Hang on, let me look for highlighted objects. So there's these, which are ham hocks.
And they like the meat?
Oh, they like the meat.
To keep them busy.
They really like the meat.
Another ham should be enough.
Gross. Oh, wow, and you're just, okay. They'll take the easy food.
Yes. I will say there is one segment later on where you essentially have to lead a live pig into a rat swarm to get them to stop. There's some animal death stuff going on in this game that if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, you may not.
By a thing if you want.
I did.
Yeah, you might want to avoid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough with that stuff.
Okay.
Right. Let's be careful.
It's not your granddad's ratatouille.
No, it is not. All right, so I think we can climb up here.
We'll be safe if we go that way.
Really?
Safer.
Oh, somebody else had this idea, huh?
Don't fall.
We won't fall. Hold my hand tight.
Okay.
So you've done this already, right?
Yeah, this is a chapter I've been through before. Just trying to remember exactly what it is I need to do here. Like, for instance...
Ham?
Go ham!
Jeez, these sounds, huh?
Yeah.
That torch.
There's a hole in the grating.
I'll lift this up. Can you get the torch?
Yes.
Please, Harry.
Get on in there.
Please
Get
go.
on in there.
It's heavy. Hugo, hurry up. Come on.
Seriously, kid. Oh,
Are you alright?
Yes. Stay where you are. The ground is rotten.
Misha, how am I going to get back?
We'll find a way. Don't worry. As long as you have the torch, you'll be safe.
But what about you?
We'll move together. That way, the light coming through the grating will protect me too. Ready?
Ready?
Here we go then. Slowly.
you just have to keep time with him.
More or less, yeah.
Very good.
Would he just move on without you?
I don't know.
Look, there's a hole. Do you want the torch?
Yes, there are too many rats on my side.
But where can I get through?
The hole behind you. That's the only way I can see. Go through there
Wait,
and I'll meet you on the other
For
side.
real?
Are you sure?
Just stop if you see rats. I'll be with you very quickly.
Okay.
There aren't a lot of choices here. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
And that kid could have made it through that hole.
That guy didn't make it.
No, I'm surprised the rats aren't interested in the rest of them.
Yeah, you know, they've moved on. They really just like the legs.
Apparently.
Drumsticks.
Quick now.
Oh, that's not good.
Hugo! What's going on? Hugo! Talk to me! Come on! Come on!
This seems like kind of a depressing game.
It's not uplifting. Let me be extremely clear about that. Bad things are happening to just about everyone in this game pretty much all the time. It is not a good time. That said, I'm having a good time with it.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I've found this to be kind of surprisingly engaging. I really knew nothing about this game going in, but my time with it, I've been super enraptured with the story and kind of what's taking place. I do think that its attempts, at least in the early goings, to sort of like explain some of the supernatural stuff that's going on is less interesting to me. It's not bad, it's just not really the draw for me. But just the character stuff, and again, I think the art design, which we'll see a little bit more of as we go along, is really good.
From just this one part you're showing, I couldn't speak to any of it. It seems varied enough, this part, to make it not seem rote or repetitive.
And there are also, again, there are sections where you are just hiding from soldiers. Like, you are doing straight-up stealth sequences where you are trying to avoid guards and that kind of thing. So there is some variety.
Is that staying out of the light at that point?
Well, what do you mean? In which point?
Wondering if it reverses where you have to stay out in the dark to not be seen by the soldiers.
There's like high grass sections you can hide behind. There's like scenery you can hide behind. There are some different ways you can approach it.
Here's my tip for Amicia. Amicia?
Amicia.
Bring 2 sticks.
You know, I would love that.
Just
they don't really give you that option.
Bring another stick, you'll be okay.
Okay, so now
you gotta light it on the last fire.
He just knocked another one of those things down for me. So now I just need another stick. Bring me another stick. Give me the stick.
Bring 3 sticks.
Give me the stick.
Don't give him the stick.
All right.
That's a lot of rats.
It's so many rats, dude. It's so many rats. So he's gonna come down.
It seemed like he was pretty good up there.
I shouldn't have left you alone. It's too risky.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, what were you saying?
I was saying don't leave him alone.
Try not to. Whenever
you know
possible.
where you have to go now?
Yes, I do. Yeah, run, fuckers. I got the torch.
Is that the fastest you move?
Yes, when you have him held up like this with the torch, that's the fastest you can move.
Okay.
You can move faster with him if you're not trying to hold the light.
Gotcha.
So we're headed this way.
I don't know what you're going to do about this rat problem, honestly, here, Alex.
Call the Orkin Man?
I don't think that's going to do it.
Do they have Orkin Man in the 12th century?
I don't know. 14th, you said, right?
Well, no, it would be the 12th century because it was the 1300s.
Doesn't that go the other way around?
Was it?
Isn't it?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be the
14th?
14th century. My bad.
Hey, listen.
Math is not my strong suit.
I don't think the Orkin Man was around in any of those
get out
years.
Of here now.
Yes.
Is this something that was
What's that?
The 3 statues? Is that something that they were talking about before?
I think they said that this is like where the entrance to the crypt is.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we're about to go into the crypt. I have some news about the crypt.
Is it fine?
It's all fine. Everything is great.
Great.
Should we go anyway?
Yes, we've managed to get this far. We'll be fine. Just stay close.
You know,
here's one of the
you're
big,
doing fine.
One of the big visual moments in this game that kind of stuck with me.
I don't know.
This walking through a bunch of dead people on the wall, alien style.
Yeah, they just straight up turn a rat's nest into an alien, into a fucking alien nest.
This is gross.
This is not a pleasant place to be.
I bet this smells real bad.
Oh yeah, all of this is bad. There's no good part of any of this.
This reminds me of the part in Temple of Doom where the woman, I forget her name, she has to stick her hand to pull the lever.
Yes.
And it's
all the bugs.
Centipedes and yes. All of this reminds me of the inside of that thing where the lever is.
But you know what? This is like, you could say like, hey, rats in the bubonic plague and all that. You know, you can do something with that, or you can go all the way with it. And be like, what if the rat's nest was this horrible enmeshment of human remains and gross shit?
I mean, listen, yes.
It's again, I think it is a more inventive art design than maybe I was expecting from this.
Definitely makes you not want to be here.
Over there, light. We're there, Hugo. Run, Hugo.
And this is just a sequence where you're just running. You get a few of these where you're just being chased by either people or by rats or what have you.
And the rats don't like being outside in the daylight?
No, they don't like the light as much. But when night comes around, it's not good.
The rats come out at night?
Mostly.
I want to see Mommy.
Okay, Hugo, we're gonna have to have a talk, I think.
I don't want her to be dead.
Hugo.
I want her to come back.
Maybe get a little further away. Maybe walk a little bit before you sit down.
Not right on top of the rat cave.
So that's that chapter. I'll do a little bit of the beginning of the next chapter, and then I think we'll call this.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's
$45.
It's $45. It's again, it is a very narrative focused game. I think the narrative is interesting enough, certainly, to justify it. I think the stealth stuff and the mechanics, the little bits of light puzzle solving and figuring out how to get around the rat stuff, it's good enough. Like, it's not intrusive, it's not overly complicated, it's not going to engage you the whole, like, if that's what you want the most out of the gameplay, it's not that.
Okay.
But I think it's fine for what this game is striving for.
Are there rats there too?
Maybe.
And here's a little
don't
bit of
know,
a prettier landscape.
I'm scared.
A little bit.
They'll find us when it gets dark.
We'll be safe with Laurentius. Come on.
Oh, so they're still looking for Laurentius.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they know where to go now, at least.
As long as they get there by
There.
daytime.
A windmill.
Is that Laurentius's farm?
I hope so.
I've never seen a real windmill.
If we're careful, you'll be seeing one very soon.
That's the running speed.
The handheld running speed.
Amicia, look. It's one of the men that attacked the house.
The
Is it?
Inquisition.
Oh.
They're here.
So you'll see
See?
a little bit of the stealth stuff up here.
Crows like legs too.
Let's get into our crouch position.
Do that. They're only fucking animals. Do I look like a rat? How should I know?
Well, I say we'll never get rid of these nests using stupid lime.
Whatever happens, we have to get out of here before the sun goes down.
So you can hide in the grass here.
I like the dark.
And it's
So
really
back to
just about
business.
figuring out how to lead soldiers away from the path you need to take.
Okay.
So in this case,
distractions.
he's in
and-
front of me, so no matter what, I can't get rid of him. But what I can do is I can... Whoop.
Oh.
Nope, that's some shit. You can do a quick toss like this that does not require you to stand up.
I gotcha. Okay.
So I'm going to do that. He'll see that,
Here's something over there.
and then I'll have to wait for him to turn around.
Gotcha. To walk back to his
Yes.
position. Got it.
And so it's a lot of distractions like this.
Okay.
And finding the path through that makes the most sense.
Is it usually finding the thing that's highlighted and?
Yeah,
hitting it
it's
with something?
pretty
Nothing here.
blatant about where it thinks you should be directing yourself.
And the path is pretty linear.
Yes.
Something moving.
Shit, I messed up.
Don't move until the
We should probably get. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, Alex. Boy, they're not messing around, huh?
No, they are not.
They no chance.
I had made a
for-
mistake by running. I should not have done that.
No chance to repent.
Yeah. Let's try that one more time.
What's all the racket?
No. No nature would allow a rock to fall on metal like that. I have to
If
check
you
this
were a
out.
guard, would you check out a sound like that?
I don't know. I think I'd still be a pretty dumb guard, all things considered.
You'd walk your path.
Yeah.
So they can hear you if you were to.
If I was
to run?
running, and also
Okay.
because I stood up, I was more
Ah.
obvious. All right, this
Amicia,
guy.
look. There's a bridge that leads to Amicia.
I don't have a choice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that guy had no helmet on, so he was.
I
I could
see.
take him down.
Okay.
And there's not really any path here where like I could have distracted that guy away. So there
Yeah.
are a few where you just kind of have to do
That
that.
sling just goes, huh?
Yep. He was just carrying sulfur on him, as one does.
You know, keeps the rats
That
away.
should do it. With that and the second barricade, no one will ever get through.
I'm going to the bridge. The cart will be back with the other barricade.
Watch out for ticks.
Mm-hmm.
We are trapped.
There's a hole in the wall.
I'm too big. You'll have to go in and open the window for me.
But they'll see me.
I'll keep him busy. Trust me.
Yeah, check this out.
What was that noise?
Go, kid, go.
Come on.
I'm going.
There's a real whispering into the microphone,
Yeah, so I directed him to
yeah.
go in there at that time.
and he's going to open the window to the hut.
Yes.
And then will you have to do that again? Like
Yes.
flying the thing again?
Well,
Okay.
And he will
There's
remark
nothing.
that I have done this again.
It's my turn.
So wait for him to turn around.
Not again.
That's the second time. I need to see this.
Yes, you do.
This is amazing.
I've never seen rocks hit metal before.
2 rocks.
Well done.
Uh-oh.
Amicia, we have to get out of here.
Still nothing.
Still nothing.
All right, we need to get this guy out of the way. Fortunately, So you can throw more than just rocks. Like I have this pot that I'm holding on to, and so I can throw that over here.
So if you were to throw the rock, it wouldn't make enough sound?
Yes, he would just kind of be, like, you would see a little noticing icon, but it wouldn't move.
It has to hit something loud and metal?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no, they blocked off the farm.
Maybe it's not a great idea to go to this farm, Alex.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think this is probably enough to show off. This is just kind of what the mechanics of this are like.
Sure.
Sometimes some of these sequences are longer than others.
So you've made it a little past this?
Yeah, I'm a couple chapters past this.
And it didn't change up that much more?
No, I mean, there are different puzzles and different, stealth scenarios, but it is a lot of the same stuff kind of applied in different situations. I think it's pretty good.
That's interesting, yeah. I had no idea about this.
Yeah, I didn't either, and it's a neat surprise. Like I said, it's limited in some of its scope, but I think that by and large it is a pretty neat little thing, and I'm having some fun with it.
And it's available on PS4 and Xbox One as well?
I believe it is.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.